Hey everyone, thank you for listening to this recording. I just wanted to hop on here and do a quick video because I've gotten a lot of responses from people wanting to know how to file their SETC, which is their self-employed tax credit. Again, this credit is for any 1099 employee or self-employed person that was in business in 2020 and 2021. If you did file a return and you file a Schedule C SSE1 form, then that is excellent. We are in business, and right now I'm about to walk you through how to register and how to get signed up for your SETC credit. And I've got Kevin Higdon here from Gig Workers. He's going to walk us through how this is going to look for you, this whole process. Thanks a lot, Kevin, for joining me.
Yeah, sure. And so Gig Worker, I'm actually with a group called Roy Matlock Jr. Business Services, and we've affiliated with Gig Workers and Anchor Accounting to provide this avenue for this self-employed tax credit. So I've already sent Carmen, or actually I've been doing this myself. So you'll get a link from Carmen, and when you do, you'll come up to the screen here and you'll register your name. And so I'm just going to register here, John Smith. My email, I used this email. gmail.com. And I'm gonna make up a password. So password is anyway, my SETC #1. And I'm going to create an account here.
Okay.
So, for me, I got to move the, hey, John, let's get you verified. So, they sent me to that email address my code here. So, let me get into that email address so I can grab my code. So there it is. I got an email. Verify your email. Can you still see my screen?
Yep.
Verify your email address for Gig Workers. Code 8511. So I'm going back over here. Where was I?
Yeah, you got a lot of sessions open. I think it was the one right next to it.
Was it here?
Yep. Right next to it. No, that's your email. The one that has the checkbox. Yeah, I think that one.
Those are my safe search here.
The one right next to it.
All right, so you're going to get your code here. Let me see if sometimes when you link, when you verify, you hit 2. Damn, what that? There we go. So I entered that code. I went back in, I entered that code, and now I can continue. So you're going to grab your code from your email, and we're going to continue here. Okay, and then it's going to take you to the screen right here. Calculate your ERC credit, or you can read more about it. There's lots of information out here. There's lots of tutorials out there about the self-employed tax credit. But I'm specifically want to know how much I'm going to be eligible for.
Right.
So here I am. And right here on the screen says, did I file a joint return? Okay. So a joint return would be if you filed jointly, obviously, and your spouse was also self-employed. Okay.
Mhm.
Your
Yep.
spouse was also self-employed, which means they would have their very own Schedule SE. Okay. So we'll do both. We can run through this real quick. We'll do kids, no kids, self-employed. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to enter your income. I'm going to say no. Okay?
Right.
Then
Mhm.
I'm going to enter my income. This is your 2020 income. It's the first box here. It tells
Yep.
you exactly where to pick this number up from. It's line 6 on Schedule SE. So for the purposes here, I'm going to say I made $50,000. Oops.
Ooh, that's nice. 500,000.
Half million. And then I'm going to say that in 2021, because it asked you for your 2020 and your 2021, I'm going to say in 2021, I didn't quite make as much money.
Mhm.
Okay. So I've got my income in there.
Yep.
And now I have to enter the number of days that I was impacted. So the number of days, the maximum number of days that you can claim for care or self-care is 10. And this is,
Mhm.
there's 2 periods. The first period is January the 1st through March 31st. The second period is April the 1st through September 30th. Okay.
Mhm.
Maximum credit that I can claim here, number of days, and right here we've got, you can enter them, but it's got 10 days. Okay. But you can
Mhm.
click on this little calendar here, enter your number of days, and it tells you that I was sick. I had experienced symptoms of COVID, or I actually had COVID, or I was told to quarantine, or I thought I had COVID, or whatever. So those
Right.
10 days. Okay. And then I'm going to save and continue. I don't have kids. I don't have kids, and I didn't care for anyone else. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I'll show you this here. If you did care for someone else, the maximum that you are eligible to claim is 10 days for self-care or care for someone else. And the self-care, your calculation, the math is the higher of the 2 numbers.
Mhm.
It's your net earnings, line 6 divided by 260. The maximum amount of claim is capped at $511 a day. Okay, that's if you made, I think it's 132,850. Okay,
Mhm.
right here, you can see if I cared for someone else, the max claim is the same formula, but it's time 0.67, so it's reduced. It's
Mhm.
reduced. So you want to be honest in everything here, but if you split these, and I'll show you how this works. So we're just going to save and continue. Okay.
Mhm. Max days on both.
Yep. I don't have any, I don't have any kids. Now I'm doing the second period. Had COVID again. Same thing. Same thing here.
And
So
Kevin, you really don't have to change these dates if you don't want to. I mean, the computers defaulted it to these dates, and you can change them, right? You know, to be
yeah,
more accurate.
yeah, and that's a great question. What I will tell you is I wanted to understand the 72. I wanted to understand this whole process. So I did mine myself by hand.
Mhm.
And I filled out the form, and on the form 7202 that submitted to claim this credit, you have to list you have to list the dates, okay?
Right. Okay.
So you want to be as accurate as you actually possibly can. Realize that 2021 was a while ago. You may not remember exactly how it went and stuff, but anyway, so we're going to save and continue. Now I've got it all in here. I'm single, self-employed, didn't have any kids. I got max claimed for self-care and for care of somebody else. And now we're going to calculate the credit. Not going to be a whole lot of money. I guess that's a relative statement, isn't it?
Right.
There it is, 3846. Okay. 3846. Now you
Gotcha.
see right here in the calculation is the same for both periods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you pull up this calculation here, it picked up the greater of your 2020 or your 2021 line 6 on your SE.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, line 6 for my 2020 was greater than my 2021. So it's going to use the greater of the two. You can also see here that it did the calculation for my 10 days of self-care. Okay. And that got me the 1923. The calculator is going to default to the greater of. So even though you cared for someone else during that, you're not eligible to claim more than those 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you look down here at this, your full caring for other calculation, 50,000 divided by 260 times 0.67 means $128 a day. Well, up here, my self-care is $192 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I took care of someone for those 10 days, I've already used up my 10 days and it defaults to 0. Okay, because the system is automatically going to maximize your credit. All right. So get back over here. And just real quick, Carmen, do you want me to run through a joint and a kid real quick?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So let's say my spouse was also self-employed. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click yes. And then my income didn't change. Let's say my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
My spouse, man, she's an all-star. She makes way more money than me.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way a spouse should, right?
Heck yeah.
And so she made 75 and she made 80,000. Gonna submit. And then we'll go over here. And she's also gonna have the same 10 days. Save and continue. Save and continue.
Mm-hmm.
Back to your information. And now I've added my spouse to it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And watch, it's going to break down. It'll break down both. So it'll calculate them together.
Uh-huh.
There you go. You got the 10 grand. Okay.
Makes
Now
sense.
my calculation didn't change because there was nothing that changed on my calculation.
Nope.
Only thing that I did was add my spouses in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let's see her calculation. So her calculation, remember, she made more in 2021 than she did in 20.
Yep, so it
Okay,
took
and
the,
mine was just the opposite. She also, so that took her to $307.69 a day, 10 days. That got her to the 3077.
mm-hmm,
And then even though she cared for someone else, doesn't matter because the system's already going to default to the greater of.
yep, the greater of the two.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to close out of that. And her number is going to be exactly the same for both periods.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, so that's what gets you to the 10,000. Now, we'll do one other variation of this. And we're going to add kids. So nothing's going to change here. We're going to update this. Did you claim any minor dependents or dependents unable of self-care on your 2021 tax return? So did you have dependents? Yes. Sacrifice working because you're minor. School,
mm-hmm,
daycare closed, your child was out sick, or your child was told to quarantine due to COVID-19. You do not need to declare the exact days. So let's just say that my kid was out. Remember, this is the first period, which is only a 90-day period, but let's just say my kid was out 23 days. It's the
mm-hmm,
same calculation as care for another. Line 6 divided by 260 times 0.67. Okay. The only difference is the number of days that you're permitted to claim. When
yep,
you do that, when you have a child, you want to make sure that you do have some documentation to support this. Okay.
mm-hmm, yeah.
So I'm going to save and continue.
Which is easy because the school will have records. Heck, every kid was out of school in 2020 for some
That,
period.
yeah, that's right. I mean, but remember this. So the periods covered here are 2021, January 1st through March 31st of 2021,
Mm-hmm,
and April 1st through September 30th of 2021.
mm-hmm,
Okay, and now I'm going to update this one again because same thing here.
yep.
Sometimes you have to trick this. Sometimes it requires you to. I don't know why it's. Let me try this here. Kind of hung up here, so let me update. Here we go. So this is a maximum of 60 days. Why is it more days? Because there were more days in this period, April 1st
Yeah.
to September 30th.
Uh-huh.
So let's
Makes
just say during this period, my kid, you know, set kind of the same thing. Save and continue. Okay. And let's say that I have 2 kids. So each spouse could, if you only have one child, only one spouse can claim that child. So you want
right.
to claim, you'd want to use the higher of the 2 income earners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But let's say I had 2 kids. And save and continue. And then I'm going to update again. I'm going to save and continue. Back to your information. And then I'm going to calculate again, calculate my credit. And what do you see this number?
Whoa.
Decent chunk of change.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an extra $17,000 just for some greedy little kids.
Just
That's good.
that's right.
Good.
That's right. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, so,
this is great, my friend. I think this is really, no, not think, this is really, I know this is really going to help the enrollment.
good, good.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you,
Carmen,
Kevin.
you know how to reach me, and I'm always available for you. It's always, um, I'm here to help you.
I
So,
appreciate that.
okay,
We'll go ahead and stop this thing.
all right.